Those are some hell of a names you call there. I don't think he's standing a shot with them.
This is Jonathan Agioff here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by legendary trainer Kenny Adams, Hall of Fame inductee. First of all, congratulations on that. How does it feel to have been inducted?
Well, it feels good. I've been inducted into a couple of them before, so nothing new. But the thing is, it's still a very nice comfort zone to be in the best of the best, definitely.
We were talking a bit off camera about your career.
Cameron Duncan?
No, we were talking off camera.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were talking to Cameron Duncan, because he was one of my management people that brought fighters to me. You know of him?
Yeah, of course.
Great manager, great manager.
So we were talking off camera about some of the fighters you started with. So let's start with that '84 American Olympic team. Tell me about it, and obviously we know Holyfield was on it, Pernell Whitaker. It's known as one of the greatest of all time. Tell me what your role was and how that started.
Well, basically my role was to train them technically. Pat Nappy was actually the head coach, and I was assistant coach. But he needed someone that could do the mitts and could make sure the guys ran right and keep them disciplined. And I was good at that. And he knew that him being a former military man and me being a military man, no pain, no gain, and we don't play no mess, So it all worked out well. They were very disciplined. But all of these guys that were Breland and all them, Biggs and all them, those guys are very disciplined anyway.
I mean, just some of the names on that team that I mentioned, Holyfield, Pernell Whitaker, I'm guessing it came as no surprise how well they did during their careers.
Oh yeah, because they were disciplinarians, their own self, to include they had great skills anyway. And you couldn't take nothing back from them. Pernell, he was sharp and slick, good movement, doing all that. And all the rest of them were basically the same way. That '84 team was a very, very sharp team. They were very disciplinarian also, And they were part of old school.
Tell me about the first time you met a young Roy Jones Jr. and did you see his career planning out the way it did?
Yes, well, I knew of him anyway. I mean, he and his father and I were pretty good friends. And Vince Phillip also, who was from Pensacola, Florida, and Arthur Williams also from Pensacola, Florida. So I had knowing of them prior to that anyway. I mean, we would meet them in the AAU tournaments and in the national tournaments and stuff. Because my team, I was in the Army, and my Army team won the nationals every year, not once a year, every year. From 80 all the way to 88, we won it every year.
And, going forward in your career, obviously you worked on one of the greatest fights we've ever seen in Corrales and Castillo. Talk to me about your memories of that fight.
What I remember about that mostly is that Diego was perfect specimen for a boxer. Long and tall with long arms, could punch, and he listened very well, very disciplined, and because I'm a very tough guy anyway. I'm a very strong disciplinarian, and I get them up in the morning and run them up to the mountainous area, and get them back in the same way. And I like to play it my way or the highway.
And specifically about the fight, did you see it going that way? I mean, like we say, it's considered one of the best we've seen.
I knew that he was good because he got the long arms, he could punch, and he was a hard worker. He worked hard. In fact, I just saw him yesterday in New York, in Castillo. Saw him up there yesterday, yeah.
And then also the Corrales.
That's one of the greatest trainers there too.
Manuel Stewart.
Huh?
Manuel Stewart.
Yes. Good friend of mine, real good friend. We talked a lot, thought a lot alike, which was very good, you know. And that's always the pattern is you work together. What's up, young lady?
Hi, Connie.
How you doing?
Good on you.
Okay.
Connie.
Huh?
You look good today.
Thank you for that. So you look good too. My goodness. We ought to get together then.
Getting back to the interview. You also mentioned training Terence Crawford from right at the start. Tell me about when you first met him.
I first met him in Omaha, Nebraska. He had skill, and I saw that he was a guy with big nuts and guts. And that was the halfway, but he learned to be very much a disciplinarian in the sense that he learned to be very articulate to the game itself. And that's what made the big difference. Good jab, good hook, good right hand. And he would listen. And he wasn't hard-headed.
Now, a lot of people are talking about a potential fight between him and Canelo. Is he a bit too small, though?
I don't think the weight and the size has a difference. He has a better jab, he has a better right hand, he has a better hook. He's all around. And he's a great boxer. And that's going to make the difference. Now, my man's going to be there now. Hey, he ain't going home. He going to be there and dealing with it, you know, because he does have punching power. But my man takes a good punch. Crawford is very much into taking a good shot.
Penny, I wanted to ask you about the heavyweights. So Anthony Joshua, first of all. Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, that's a little while back. Yeah, he
What do you think of him at the moment? I mean, some people feel like he's
I just have not seen him. I haven't seen him fight lately, so I really truly don't know.
Right.
But I knew from his beginning he had a good, because he was very schooled and he had his act together.
And then you know, Tyson Fury. Did you see his last fight against Francis Ngannou? Did you see his last fight?
He's a good fighter too, real good fighter. Out of all of the fighters that the younger crowd and even back in the years, you have some guys that stand out more than others, like a Holyfield, like a Riddick Bowe. These guys, they kind of stand out. Diego Corrales, Pernell Whitaker. These guys can do it, you know. And but another thing, they're disciplined, and that being disciplined is super important. But that's one of the things I dealt a lot in. I was a very disciplinarian trainer, and I always was my way or the highway, and that's the way it had to be. And when you get up there and run, I meet him at point A to point B, and that's where we go. And I do, something that people don't talk about much today. But I'm the first one to bring this. I'm the first American to bring strength and conditioning into boxing. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I am the first guy. I learned it from the Germans, Sonthofen, Germany, in the Bavarian Alps.
Right.
Strength and conditioning, very much important for explosiveness, etc. Yes, sir. You trying to learn something? Good. Come on there. But that ain't it, because you don't want to have bulk. You're looking for looseness and strength and conditioning, and explosiveness, and that's what this brings about. And it brings about strong conditioning also. And you work with that. You operating.
Kenny, give me your thoughts on Fury against Alexander Usyk.
Fury
Versus Usyk.
What's the other guy's name?
Usyk.
No, I mean way up. I'm gonna pick Fury, yes. I think he's got what it takes.
And how do you think Tyson would have done in the era of Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Tyson Fury? How do you think he would have performed against Mike Tyson, Holyfield, even Hassim Rahman?
Those are some hell of a names you call there. I don't think he's standing a shot with them. They punch too hard for him. They punch too hard.
Some people say he's too big for a lot of those guys because he's 6
Yeah,
foot.
they're smaller, but that doesn't matter. A lot of guys were big, much bigger than Tyson and stuff. He handled them, no problem. He had power. He could punch, explosive, and he's a hard worker.
Thanks for your time. Congratulations again on
Thank you.
the Hall of Fame.